life they want to put onto it. They don't feel like they can first pick it or even early pick it. So they have to let that one go into the bans, unfortunately, for them. Now we get to see where EDG want to go, and if they want to try and lock in their bot lane, or even just go towards the mid lane. You know, get the Annie, get the Viego, look for a big, strong duo.
Yeah, I think the Annie's definitely a good shout. Going to pick up AD carry here as well, as it seems like they're very content and happy to just keep throwing and leave onto a Aphelios Sudi. And now I feel like is when we're going to find out if they just want to default back to something like a Jinx or maybe a Xayah, or who knows, maybe because you have so many options open and like Jinx, Xayah, if they were willing to bring out like a Draven, you could even leave AD carry to second rotation because you're not as scared of the pool getting pinched. It would mean you'd probably go for top lane here if that was the case. You'd probably opt into a Sion, or if you're like afraid of the Gwen coming back out from the side of EDG, even if there are answers and maybe not the most blind pickable champion, you know, making sure that Wayward doesn't falter the same way he did in game 1. No, Gragas.
Wow, Gragas top. So picking something that can mitigate maybe a little bit of that top lane pressure. But I mean, I feel like you could just go Lulu here for Meiko and leave that extra little bit of security coming into this game. And, you know, again, there's just so many things to ban in that top side that either tank or carry that there's just not really a lot else to kind of go for. Well, no, want to go with the Gnar. Feeling like Ala might have a bit of a stronger kind of setup there. We did see with Zika earlier today on LNG, much happier kind of, you know, getting in those big team fights, and the big Gnar ultimates can be huge.
Yeah, and top esports seems like we're confident in terms of the AD carry pool in the bot lane being wide enough so they're not afraid of it getting pinched too far. When it comes to EDG for junglers, you've already highlighted the big one that comes to mind, which is the Viego. You would expect that to be taken away by TES, and then you're really wondering where Jiejie is going to go. Game 1, we had the Sejuani, but not having the same like pairings that you typically do, so you think, okay, that one probably not going to come through. And then it leads to, again, what kind of flavor Jiejie is willing to show, because we've had some junglers willing to go towards lethality champions, like the Kazakhs that we had a lot of at MSI. We've seen some, like, Nocturne gameplay, but with top esports not even showing it a mobile AD carry yet, like, that's probably not something you're really thinking of for EDG. So, yeah, I feel like a bit of an interesting situation for EDG to save jungle for the second rotation.
Interesting, but might work out in the end. We'll see what they kind of want to bring the last few bans. Actually gonna go with the Lucian, so the Draven makes it all the way down, as does the Jinx. Right now, top esports not wanting to show their cards in terms of where the bot lane is going to be.
And now that you banned Lulu, I really think giving one ban towards jungle, there it is. You ban the Viego, makes sense, because again, it really is the last just obvious pick left open. Now for EDG, I feel like this is probably where you show, and you could even leave. You could either like pick something like a Rakan here and then deny it. The Xayah Rakan combo is a possibility, or you take jungle and you look to counter pick support and try to give Leave and Meiko an even stronger laning phase.
Well, it looks like they're going to go with option 1 over your 2. Get Meiko onto this Rakan. Good hard engage. Good stop the Xayah Rakan combination, like you mentioned. Breaks up that lovers duo. And we'll see. Lots to kind of just still come out of this one here. Yeah, I mean, they're still waiting to see. Make him pick Draven.
Yeah, make him do it. Come on, you use your Irish.
I mean, you can go Draven Blitzcrank here. That wouldn't be too bad, to be honest with you. Be able to kind of build out the Aphelios. I might be god tier caster right now.
Did you do it? Did you do it, Ashin? You did it, Ashin.
I did do it. I am him.
Everyone, thank Ashin right now. Oh,
I'm gonna be doubly right. Please make me. No, go back to the Blitzcrank. I want to be doubly right. No, I want to be doubly right.
You know what?
This is the correct play, but I want it to be doubly right.
You've already done enough for the people. You've already done enough for the people, but are you going to do a little bit more? Oh, that's even better.
I'll take a Pike. Pike's even better. Pike's even better. That's an improvement on what I anticipated.
Yeah, there we go. We already highlighted some of the potential jungle options for Jiejie, Kazakhs being one of the ones we mentioned. That would give them, you know, we already know who his prime target is going to be on the opposite side, and there it is. Kazakhs brought out for Jiejie, JackeyLove and Mark on the Draven and Pike. We know this game is all about bot lane, even more so than our usual games. I still remember back to 2020 Worlds. I sadly can't remember who the opponent was in their group, but I just remember them picking the Draven and just constantly going back to that bot lane, diving over and over again and having like a 10K. Hell, JackeyLove's done that so many times throughout his career, right? Pick Draven, dive bot over and over again, have like a 10K gold lead at like 10 minutes. It is just great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, definitely feels like something that he's been able to do. It's almost like a tale as old as time.
That movement speed coming out so you can chase people down, or you can go like standard crit, go towards an infinity edge. Not a lot of tanks on the opposite side, so something like a Ghost Blade could be cool, seeing that come out. But hey, JackeyLove's the Draven Master. We're just going to be here to watch and learn.
Waiting for the Master to tell us everything. Curious to see if the Kazakhs will have as much of an impact as we have maybe seen there. I actually like this little small adaptation we're seeing from Tian. He's actually going for the blue smite to get a little bit of extra movement speed coming in and out of brushes and stuff like that to try and catch out maybe the FLEOs. It's actually something that I've seen quite a few times when they're going up against AD or heavy AD carry junglers, that it's kind of like gives you an extra little bit of movement speed to kind of stay in tow with something like a Kazakh so you don't just run away from you or anything like that. It's nice to see those little adaptations coming out even this far into a series.
Yeah, I agree. Nice to see and see what he does do with it. A lot of our attention hopefully going to be towards bot lane, whether in favor of top esports or if JackeyLove and Mark just end up kind of getting blown open, and if EDG do put resources down there. I think for EDG's comp, well, he can have a lot of power, right? And he's stun setting up for like cosmic damage to come out. Same with the Rakan down in that bot lane. You already know Pyke and Draven are going to want to play far forward, so can set up for easier ganks. But also means we're going to have to see how top esports vision game is around this bottom half of the map. Oh, speak of the devil, look at Tian.
Yeah, they know. I think they saw him on that ward, I believe. There was a couple of pings going down, so Tian already from his Raptors straight into a blue side invade, which means that he knows he can go a bit more aggressively. There is a... I don't know how he curved the bullet on that particular one, and now Leave in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack would have killed him. He holds onto his heal, he holds onto his flash. He's got 3 pots running, and this is good. Yeah, they got a ward. They got to make sure they know where this Wukong is going to be, because if they don't know where he is, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Meiko now getting jumped on a little bit here. The Ignite goes down. He has to flash away. Gets the heal out. The hook is good! And that's what you want to be seeing from top esports. Mark and JackeyLove get their combo and get their kill.
Like, they just have this plan down pat. It doesn't matter what iteration of top esports it is. It's like, all right, pick the Draven lane, play aggressively. I love that Tian went for the invade, saying, hey, you're not really going to be able to match, because if Jiejie comes, like, our bot lane is pressure, they're going to move first. If you don't come and you look for the cross map, it sets up for plays like that. I'm really surprised that Meiko went to go check if Tian was here when Leave was so low, because this was always going to happen in terms of having to blow some of these summoners. But Leave gets caught by Mark, and honestly, just great hook by Mark. Great play coming on the Pyke so far in these first 3 minutes.
Really, really well done as well. And it's just, and the big thing as well, yes, it's a kill, early cash out, not going to mean the most in terms of gold for the Draven. As you can see, he wasn't able to stack up anything. I think the big thing to recognize is the CS. So much of that CS wave was lost to tower. Probably lost 2 waves because it was already crashing as he was trying to go down or get back away. So really strong start for the top esports bot lane. And that's exactly why you picked this lane. It's a hyper kill lane. It doesn't want to jinx Afelio, sit there for hours and not do anything. It wants to see the action.
And again, Tian just going to pretty much ignore his top side and keep just playing heavily around the spot lane. Even if you aren't necessarily looking for kills, just making sure that your bot lane has the freedom to play the way they want. And now we might get a 3v3.
I mean, that's a 2-level difference there. No flash, remember, on to Leave. And Meiko gets dragged back. He's trying to use the battle dance to see if he can survive. It's going from bad to worse, Lyric. This is going to be fantastic for top esports fans, but EDG, they're falling apart.
Man, Leave is going to have nightmares. He comes out in the pregame interview saying, hey, last time, JackeyLove and Mark, they pressured us so much. It was so rough. They won last time. And now you come back in. Honestly, EDG, even in game 2, like, they've looked like the better team. Like, the last game, top esports had to brawl to be able to win, where EDG had the clean game 1. Now you come into game 3 and you have to face such JackeyLove Draven, and he's just going to imprint this in your memory forever.
I mean, just so difficult to see. Ala taking a much more favorable trade. Wayward might have to flash here. Wayward will probably have to flash. One more boomerang would be good. Ala wants it. He doesn't have the hop. He doesn't hit the boomerang. So flash for flash there. Ala thought he had himself a little solo bolo on the top side.
It was close. Even a nice flash over the cube to be able to be in range to keep trying to bring that one down. And now we're going to see once again, nice Tian not getting potentially baited, because Jiejie should be up towards his side after them spotting him down in bot lane.
We'll wait to see now. I'm curious. I imagine it's an Essence Reaver for JackeyLove. I don't think he will go for the Triforce. I like to think maybe he could be a bit crazy. You know, Triforce has received quite a few buffs on this particular patch. As Meiko... Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Make it stop, Jordan! Make
He
it
was
stop!
supposed to be him, Machine.
He was supposed
him.
to be He's not him! Oh, Lord, that's upsetting.
That is, and it seems like EDG are like, hey, this isn't how it was meant to be. This isn't how this game and how this series is, you know? You over there.
Hooray!
Oh, hey, we're back! We don't have to talk about nothing anymore. Let's
Oh
go.
my God, League of Legends, I've never been so happy to see you. My God, everyone take a collective sigh of relief. I hope you enjoyed the Last Hit podcast featuring Cadril. And I hope he interacted with us. But now we come back in and we actually have an old hood.
We're very serious here in the LPL, so we get right to it. Look at this. We're back where we started, which is top esports absolutely decimating in this spot lane still. Still no summoners, so it means that Tian, we know, is just going to keep playing heavily around the spot side, right? Trying to set up these opportunities. And now, sadly for Jiejie, you kind of just get pulled into the orbit of having to cover for your bot lane and making sure that JackeyLove and Mark don't snowball too much out of control.
Absolutely. You kind of have to stem the bleeding a little bit in that bot side. Otherwise, it's just not going to be able to thing. But how can you? Because you're looking at a sheen and a difference. JackeyLove walks up. You can see the red glow on his hands. He knows he wants to go for it. But right now, looking like they might try and get on top of Mark. But this is still risky here. Meiko will lose all of his summoners if he's not so careful. They're still going for this dragon. Tian taking an absolute beating. Looking like he may be trying to juke out over the wall. Finally does commit to it. Does he flash back in to get the smite? That is the question. Here we go. There's going to be the Timbers dropping down straight into the action. Leave is dead. The dragon goes over to EDG. Now FoFo looking to see if he can escape this one here. Mark just needs to get out of the vision so he can respawn some of that health bar. Hits a fantastic hook and drags back Meiko. One or two more bonks. And yes, you got the dragon EDG, but you lost all the kills.
Exactly. Top esports are going to love this. They can just snowball out of control now. 3K gold lead at 7 minutes. They're going to be in for such a rough time, especially now with even Rookie being huge. He's going to have way more momentum to potentially leave lane now, finishing off that lost chapter. And I get what EDG are, you know, wanting to do here, right? They pick up the dragon, hoping they can be able to escape off the back of this. But then, I mean, doing a nice job of repositioning by top esports and actually play multiple angles of the fight, right? Mark and Tian going one way, Rookie spirit rushing the opposite, and I believe did connect the charm to make sure that they got that other kill. And now, I mean, I don't know, for EDG, Ashid, what do you do from this position? 3K gold lead, already a huge Draven. Essence Reaver at 8 minutes.
Yeah. Essence Reaver at 8 minutes was what I was just about to say. I was actually, no, I lied. What I was about to say was, oh, it's good that the Draven didn't get all those kills. It's only assists. But no, he is literally just under double the amount of gold that Leave has. Leave will be able to pick up a little 200, but it's measly. It's tuppence in the grand scheme of the banker that is JackeyLove.
Yeah, and now we're going to see where his build goes from here, right? Because like I said, we've been seeing a lot more Ghost played in solo queue. Also can just go like standard crit and end up with an IE as your mythic. But with the lack of, I think, frontline, and now like you're actively snowballing, I could definitely see Ghost played being what makes sense. Now Rift Herald in pocket as well. I'm sure we all know where Tian is going to love to drop that one. Everything going to Sir Daddy JackeyLove down in that bot lane.
That's his official title now, given how this game has kind of gone. But decent damage here from FoFo to try and make something work. Great charm, but I really feel like that should have went on to FoFo there, Rookie. It was a great charm with the JJ, but maybe the target should have been the Annie. So is going to be the Rift Herald picked up, as well as the kind of pressure in that mid lane. And it's just kind of backing themselves away. I mean, Mark can do whatever he wants. He can go where he pleases. He might as well be playing Mundo because he is just no one can contest. Even if they get a full proper engage off of this bot lane, I still think JackeyLove wins in a 2v1.
Yeah, this is Mark's world and we're just all living in it. You know how some people you meet have main character energy? That is definitely Mark in this game, but I guess we're really just going to be keeping our eyes on when Tian makes his way down here, because it would be the most logical place, I think, to give gold over to JackeyLove more. But we might even see JackeyLove and Mark find a kill before that, because Mark has been on point.
Oh my God!
With these hooks.
Just insane to think that he's able to kind of wiggle it around the AD or the support, trying to body block for the AD carry. Just insane. And yeah, I mean, look, if you're wondering about the maths behind the Draven stacks, it is the stacks times 2.5 plus 40 gold. And that is the general sense. So generally speaking, you want to be on about 400 stacks. That's about 1,000 gold. That's generally speaking where you want to be in terms of the maths. I've done it many, many times. So we're already at nearly 200 after we got a couple of kills. So that's just going to get harder and harder to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm interested to see what his next back's going to be after, you know, getting more farm. Again, you expect the Rift Herald to go down here, but even already be on his way to the next big item purchase. A minute 20 till Drake. EDG might have gotten the first one, but with the gold difference being so skewed, this is where they should come online. But Umbral Glaive picked up by Jiejie first. So not only going to have, you know, the vision control power behind him, but also at least getting a bit of an early spike just in case any action broke out or if they try to get a gank off.
Looks like they're trying to just hard force something now. And honestly, this is what they need to do. They need to look to try and catch somebody in the fog of war, get some decent gold into somebody, because it's already a 3,500 gold lead. It's getting towards a 5,000 one. And Mark, it's just too easy for the Pike. He rolls over, kind of says, yep, let me just triple check this. I have plenty of mobility. There's no real threat on me. Easy. So it's just hard. It's just very, very hard to see how EDG are able to kind of bring this one back, as we already see on the side of the screen. 200 stacks for JackeyLove. A kill equals the kill gold plus 500.
Yeah, he's going to be huge. Also, I want to praise Rookie for not, like, getting scared and hovering down towards bot side in that exchange, because that is a common play you see people make, right? Hover down in fog of war. You wait for Rookie to be scared to be like, oh, I have to go cover my bot lane, move down too, and then bam, mid-jungle waiting in that area, because Rookie is actually one that has a bit of a bounty. Not huge, right? Only 200 gold. But that 200 gold is something that EDG would love to get in their pocket.
It's going to be the Dragon to be fought over next. There is still no boots onto JackeyLove, so definitely a lot slower to make the rotation over. But you can see him just stacking up on this bot side, just getting more and more of those adoration stacks. And it's just hard. Again, I appreciate what EDG are trying to look for, but whether or not they can make it stick is a different story, because I don't even think you can defend this. You don't have the Kazakhstan bot side. You're going to have to leave.
Yeah, if they don't leave, this could be quite punishing. As, again, even just stepping forward to hit this, Mark might be set up in a position where he could try and find another Bone Skewer. They're just going to be content with backing off after the charge. You'd expect them to want to look to start up this Drake, which opens up for Jiejie to try to look for plays on top side. So we see now entering enemy jungle. I wonder if he's just going to try and take away camps, or if there is an actual opportunity to try and gank this Gragas. But Wayward is flash, has explosive cast. Like, he's a lot of tools to survive or deter any plays. So looks like it will just be camps at the end of the day.
Just camps. Dragon goes over. Gold over to JackeyLove. He is a very, very rich man. The banker, as we're going to call him now. And again, 5 deaths all on EDG. And again, it's not been about top side, you know, like Wayward and Allah have just kind of let themselves off to the wayside and said, yeah, we're going to farm, and that's all the way it is. Now that we're past 10 minutes, we do have the unleashed teleports, but full 5 plates and turret gold going over to JackeyLove means that he is going to be 3,000 gold pretty much ahead of his counterpart.
Yeah, he's going to be way up there. And you know, the gold lead just kind of like slowly expanding as well. We might not have seen any big plays come out over the last few moments, but let's remember that when the gold lead initially was just under 3,000. Now with things like the Rift Herald and even just extending CS leads in lane, taking down that turret, almost making our way up to the 5,000 mark.
We'll wait to see. Again, not really a lot of opportunities, you would imagine, for EDG to get something going. But if they do find it, and they have a lot of engage. Think about it. You get the anti-tibbers, you get down with the Gnar ultimate, you can pick somebody off with the Moonlight Vigil. Here we go. Like, and that is exactly what you need to be doing. Immediately catching out Mark and getting themselves a kill.
Yeah, so very nice. Instant trigger pull by FoFo. Be able to get that CC down and enabling Jiejie to be able to get that kill. Nice going to be on someone like your Kazakhs. Even now, FoFo backing, picking up the Everfrost. So going to have a bit more CC to be able to contend within these fights. Rift Herald about to come up. So, I mean, hell, you know at this point, EDG probably aren't contesting objectives. So it is just going to be looking towards opposite sides of the map.
Yeah. It's interesting to see Leave. Looks like he's just foregone everything. There's a good flash there. The Everfrost doesn't really land, but a good
huge
charm right onto Leave. Then X marks the spot. Mark took that kill on his life personally.
Seriously, Mark is having such a phenomenal game on this Pyke, and it doesn't look like it's gonna stop. Good luck.
Oh, not quite able to get it, but the X doesn't quite hit it there. Mark is having fun, showing out some emotes and everything. Ala almost gets taken out by JackeyLove. And again, I can't blame him because he's got Merc Treads into a full Essence Reaver, nearly an IE, or probably a Bloodthirster.
I mean, right now, he is just like, that JackeyLove damage is even quite surprising in my mind, but I guess Ala doesn't really have any resistances just yet, right? Just now only sitting on that Triforce. Another turret will go down. Rift Herald going to be picked up, and now FoFo wants to find it again, but Rookie
no flash, though.
Has flash.
Yeah, no flash on FoFo, so should be able to kind of get out of this one here, you would imagine. Good charm into Everfrost means that he's able to keep his flash. No need to kind of contest it right now. Tian going to get dropped on. This is exactly what Jiejie needs to be going for. He needs to be going for isolated 1v1s. Get that claw damage down as best as he possibly can before he really kind of has any chance of, you know, fighting up against this Draven.
Gonna go right into the replay of what happened to mid. I mean, looking for it, right? Really nice by Mark. They force out the flash, but then still, Rookie, such a perfect charm being able to go on there, connect that one right into the resets for Pyke. I even love the face on the coaching staff of Top Esports.
Ala's dead.
Ala is dead.
Will eventually go down. Wayward waited for enough time and then took enough damage and said, "That's it. I'm having this kill for myself." 8-1, 6,000 gold lead. I mean, this game is as good as done now as Top Esports just kind of need to bring it home. That's basically it. I mean, at 16, 17 minutes, they just have full control of the map.
Yeah, and at this point, it's waiting for, honestly, an objective large enough to where you really can, like, snowball this even further, right? Because they're going to get to a point where they're going one by one, taking down all the outer turrets. The Spid one's the last one to go through. Then after that, breaking inner turrets can be quite hard unless EDG side laners keep overextending and you're getting those free picks. So it'll either take, like, EDG fighting a dragon around like 20 minutes, you turn that into a Baron, or if Top Esports try to force that themselves. But so far, doing a nice job of proactively looking for these picks.
Jiejie gonna have to realize that that monkey is not alone. He's got a couple of friends with him in that thing, a fox and I don't know what Pyke is, to be honest with you. He's just a drowned man. But again, just so difficult to see how EDG can really come back out of this. And look, this is like kind of part and parcel of the game. You get the reset in, they called for the pause, but then, you know, about holding the mental, I suppose, after such a long pause. I wouldn't be surprised if we were talking, you know, nonsense for a good 30 minutes there, just because of how crazy long that took just to kind of determine the bug, get the chrono break in, and then bring it back into this game.
I got to be honest, Oisin, it felt like hours, but we got an answer to one question.
Time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
JackeyLove has got the Gale Force build, which isn't as common as the other two I mentioned, of where, again, like, you spent a lot of Ghostblade or IE, valuing some of the mobility, you know, the bit of the execute that comes out at the end and being able to close that distance. I love that, being able to run people down.
I mean, they're going to have to try. Yeah, I know. I mean, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to talk about?
You know,
there's nothing there.
I like how you cleverly use space and, you know, the dead air for a little bit of dramatic tension, but yeah, it's leaving me in suspense.
Yeah, well, it is one of those things we always find that space is great when you're physically beside the caster and can see they're actively not talking, not afraid that they've disconnected and you just don't have a co-caster. Slightly different scenario, but Wayward should be able to clear himself up on this top side, as he knows that he was on the weak side while they were taking the dragon, and they backed themselves away fairly easily.
And now Top Esports are at that point where I talked about, where it's like, okay, it gets a little bit more awkward. All the outer turrets are already down. Luckily for them, having second Rift Herald means they'll be able to at least potentially break down an inner turret. And if you could try to turn that push into a dive, that could be the way for Top TS to even, you know, get a further snowball. But 7k gold lead. Oh, FoFo though.
Yeah, they're going to look to try and see if they can jump on the JackeyLove, kill him off as best they possibly can. But the Gale Force is not enough to keep JackeyLove alive. Ala gets himself the kill. And this is a 3v4 in favor of EDG. They've committed numbers and they still have leave.
Not going to be able to find anything more, but still getting 1 kill, finally being able to take down one of the raid bosses is going to be quite nice. It does give Wayward some free time up in topside, but luckily for the side of EDG, he's a Gragas. He's going to be like whittling down these turrets all too quickly.
They look like they don't want to let him out of this one here either. They're going to flash in. Ala, no! They had a ward on you, and they went over the wall. Your TP shall be wasted. Wayward shall get away scot-free, and you shall lose your life.
That's great, right? Because, yeah, the big thing it means is not only you to kill, you let Wayward not get TP flanked there. Also, back to items. Somehow JackeyLove has once again finished another full item. Picking up Rapid Fire Cannon. So we get to see here, TP flank coming out from FoFo, and they realize, right, they're going to need to sacrifice in one area to overload another side of the map. Everything thrown on to JackeyLove. Nice flash and cleanse to be able to escape, but that is so big coming out.
I was wondering where
the
hit. Yeah, I was like, where did the damage come from? He looked fine. I guess there, the execution from the adoration as well.
Yeah, so I don't believe... I guess I don't know. I don't know if he had a bounty on his head or not. JackeyLove.
Jiejie! One more auto attack would have definitely taken him out, but not quite in range for it. And again, this is going to be Kha'Zix's job. Find people isolated, kill them.
Yeah, and in that moment, JackeyLove was, I think, respecting the fog of war, right? Because he could have potentially just kept running Jiejie down, but knowing, hey, we don't, like, there's more people on this side of the map. Nar showing in bot. This is where EDG's main forces are going to be.
Do they go for a bit of a sneaky Baron? It would be very risky to try and go for it. It's not very sneaky either. They're right in front of everybody's face, and there's Rookie just hovering to the side, making sure that everybody is keeping themselves honest. Ala looking to try and be a nuisance here into Wayward, and should be just fine to kind of CC or sustain even on this bot side, collecting those minions.
Oh, Ala. This feels a lot like last game, where he was just getting targeted. At least he does survive this time around, but not enough. And what a game. What a game to be at 8K at 21 minutes. Arm goes wide.
And they might look to see if they can catch somebody. If it was just the Ahri, they might have committed the quickness there, but it was the Ahri and the Wukongs. They didn't want to go fully in on top of that there, so... And I tell you, interesting, we can have a little bit of theory crafting. I'm seeing it a lot here in the LPL, even though it's only the first week, is that when AD carries, specifically obviously the Jinx and the Aphelios, go behind, they just kind of forego the Storm Razors completely and say, look, we're going to Uber scaling, we're going to go towards the Kraken Slayer. And that seems to be like the general move from a lot of AD carries, is that we don't need to go for the Storm Razor anymore. We might as well go full for the late game.
Yeah, it's something I wonder, like, how the math adds up on it, right? Because, again, the difference being kind of Kraken Slayer is more onto, like, continuously hitting a target, and that's where a lot of that damage comes from with the every few hits. So, but I wonder if it'd even be more worthwhile to just go straight towards your Mythic first and be like, hey, okay, we're not going to go this route as Meiko. Luckily,
that
does
time he got
escape.
over the wall.
Oh, but here we go. This is one thing about top esports composition, right? Is it, again, the awkward phase once you get past the outer turrets. There's really no way to push the game forward other than trying to bring EDG into you.
I mean, Leave's nowhere near this, and you have a TP on Wayward, but you do not have one on Ala. This is an unanswerable TP. But what's happened on the backside is that Rookie's just completely caught out. Nobody gets killed on the side of EDG and top esports. They have to go back towards the Baron with a man down. Look at the Gnar. Ala doesn't need to leave because he knows that he hasn't got a chance of making it up here anyway.
And once again, you have to wonder, how does this stuff keep happening for TES? Every game, just like unfortunate circumstances that, like, that could have been the game right there. That could have been it, where top esports sealed the deal. But now, we were at 8K at one point, I believe, and now we're down to closer to 5?
Yeah, about 5.5. Now, it will be another Dragon that will put them on Soul Point, but it's a Cloud Soul, not the greatest in the world in terms of accelerating the game. And this game isn't done yet. It looks like this series still has a ting or two to show us in this particular thing. There was a TP going very deep in the mid lane. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that, but... yes, we are. We should probably go back to live because they've caught out the Aphelios. That was an unfortunate replay, but a good TP from Rookie to get him right behind enemy lines. And now they can look to try and go for this Baron again. But Jiejie's behind the play. He is being spotted out, and they know exactly where he is. They don't want to start this. They don't want to flip it. Ala's close to his Mega.
And I think for EDG as well, you're waiting for the Tibbers to come out for FoFo. Jiejie luckily gets away from the Cyclone.
Love the Tibbers will be up in a couple of seconds, and then maybe go for it. No flash, no heal on Leave, and top esports not able to go for the objective. So You see it here, just a very simple TP ward. Gets him caught out and gets him killed. I love how they highlighted the wrong ward.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering how that would be impactful, but
I was like, I don't think it was that ward, but it was definitely a ward behind
why
them.
roast the observers, huh? You know what? You know what though?
I don't roast the observers. I just highlight things.
I do, kind of live by, if you're gonna dish it out, you gotta be able to take it. The observers show a lot of pretty in plays by players that like slow them down and zoom in on them. So if they're gonna banter, you gotta be able to take some banter as well.
I agree. I agree with that. I think it's definitely something you're gonna show every -1 kind of minion. You got to be able to throw it back at you a little bit. As Ala just kind of dealing with Wayward. And this is the thing. Ala's picked the Gnar into the Gragas way back when we had Champ Select for this game. And it's kind of becoming a thing now where it's like, this is the reason why. The Gragas, even though he's building full damage, doesn't really have kill threat. With the Hole Breaker available for Ala, it makes it so difficult for Wayward to have kind of any presence here. But with Rookie roaming down, maybe they look to try and burn him down just as he's turning into Mini. They're bringing down Mark as well. Ala knows he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. He has nowhere to go. And the only place he can go is the Shadow Realm. He flashes. He dashes. A little hop and a skip and a jump. He's trying to turn it back. But a good explosive cast means that X marks the spot. Mark gets himself another kill. But now they know there's 3 people bot side. Tian has to flash away as the quickness was coming in for his life. And this game's getting very scrappy all of a sudden.
It is. Like, top esports have gotten cold feet. They haven't felt as comfortable trying to push into that top side jungle for deeper vision. They really strayed away from that from the past few minutes. We're trying to find a pick around top side turret, commit a little bit more. And it's giving EDG these opportunities to potentially look for another engage around mid. Wait, what?
And we're waiting. Wait, what? What happens? Where?
Mark somehow just died around outer turret in mid. I don't even know how Jiejie himself got there.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
And this is, again, the game getting very just not as clean as you wanted to see.
Top esports don't lose this game, do they?
I mean, I see a world where they do. I had them at 12th in my power rankings. Oh, no, I had them at 7th. I had them at 7th. Never mind.
12 is pretty low as we get to see how walking over a ward, Jiejie happened to be in the area in River and easily able to follow up. So now you're getting to a point where this Kha'Zix has to be respected, right? Sitting on, making his way towards that Sorelda's Grudge, having the Eclipse online. Doesn't matter how big JackeyLove and Rookie are in terms of damage items. They are still squishy carries that will go down to an assassin.
They will get blown up by this Kha'Zix if he gets on top of them. And you even have the Void Staff and the Shadow Flame here for FoFo. So they know their job. Their job is not to out-sustain a fight. It's to blow somebody up like this. If they can look for a 2-man Tibbers, and Tian is dead. Oh, top esports. It was all going so well, but what's happening? You're crumbling.
And it's even just like skipping basics, right? Like, you have top wave pushed out, no one's showing. You haven't once again re-pushed out mid, no one's showing there, so you know they're on the top side. Gnar's pushing wave bot. And just actions like this where, honestly, despite the fact that top esports are 5K goal in the lead, for the past 5 minutes, it feels like EDG have been the ones in control of the game.
I mean, EDG have gotten all of the objectives. They've gotten 2 towers on the bot side. They've been able to now gain a 20 CS lead for Ala in that lane. And the fact that he's got that Hole Breaker means, and now the Wit's End, like, you have to send a damage dealer now to deal with him. And I don't think if you send the Gragas and the Ahri, it's going to be enough.
No, I don't, and I don't even feel like that's what you should be looking to do, because when you actually pick off the Gnar, it doesn't turn into all too much. Now it might be more than before, because you at least have TP on your soul laners, so you'd be able to TP them up to Baron. But other than that, it's like, what are you going to do by picking off Ala? You're never going to really push in that lane and do anything meaningful. So EDG now looks like they're the ones feeling more confident to try to aggress their way in and keep, controlling vision in this quadrant of the jungle.
JackeyLove is still 2 levels ahead. JackeyLove is still 2 items ahead. I'm not going to get ahead of myself for the moment, but the thing is that EDG have done so exceptionally well is that EDG have just not fought around JackeyLove. They've just moved away from him, said, look, that's fine. You can be as fed as you like to be. You can have a GA, Second Life, whatever you want. It doesn't matter, because we are going to be able to just avoid you around the map, and it's exactly what they've done. Dragon has spawned. That would be Soul here for top esports, but again, I don't think EDG really care.
Now it seems like EDG are still just fine as we see the observers highlighting over Ala right now in sides. Especially because when you think about EDG and the play pattern they're looking for this game, right? It's been picks. It's been, you know, abusing vision denial and then waiting for FoFo plus Jiejie to just be able to instantly burst someone out and then relying on, like, okay, top esports are not going to back off because we have numbers and take objectives through that way.
Upgraded Q, upgraded spikes. Rookie trying to see if he can find someone on a flank. Level 16 now, so he'll have fairly decent cooldown on that ultimate. Should be able to pick up this tower without any real contention. They finally get themselves something in this. Ala is very happy to take these trades because even in the sustain war, he's winning.
Yeah, he's just fine up there, right? Again, for Wayward, it's going to be more about 5v5s, but top esports, again, I'm more surprised that they're not more proactively trying. They did get bot wave in order, so that's like one step done. Now bring Rookie into the fold and try to reclaim some of this vision. You might even have to wait for Wayward to join in, but EDG, they're going to let them wait. They're just going to start Baron right now.
They're going to start Baron and try and bait them in. They know the Scryers is down, so they know that it's not being taken, but EDG haven't really figured that one out yet, so now they recognize that they've been caught out. They don't have the exact kind of trap that they were hoping for, and EDG should be able to kind of back themselves away. And I do believe, as much as you said the bot lane was in order, it looks like it might be pushing in favor of EDG for the moment.
And I want to see what, I mean, the wave's going to hit now, so it's going to be fine. Top esports, I mean, they really need to start even just getting like shallow vision, right? Even just vision like right over the pit wall, which EDG, of course, will be able to reclaim, but then even just spotting them out in those moments and trying to create an avenue for Mark to be able to hook someone. But now, I mean, Jiejie, especially with having the magic shield.
Tian's going to be spotted, though. They know he's there. They know he's there. They're going to turn back on top of him and try and burst him out before he can get any real damage. FoFo will be taken out. 99999 comes out across our screens, but Tian is still alive as he was the perfect distraction. Both TP from the Ala was used as well as a flash from FoFo. It didn't save his life, and now top esports, you have to look for something. It's difficult, but you got to push.
Yeah, they're going to have to, I mean, they have to do something off this, right? Maybe wait for Mega to time out and then try to bring them onto the Baron and try to force a turn that way. You still have the explosive cast, but not a whole lot other than that. Still, I feel like FoFo was like the main dissuader of them being able to walk into EDG's jungle and be able to get vision because his Tibbers was the real thing setting up for the burst to come out from Jiejie.
Well, they're looking for the Baron. It's getting taken very, very low. They're going to try and jump onto Rookie. Jiejie does not have the jump now available to him, and he is going to die. Draven secures the Baron, and top esports may have found themselves a way of securing this game.
This may have taken 10 minutes longer than it's needed to, but it's good. The top esports have finally gotten it under control. Nice by Wayward as well, going out, you know, at the exact right instant to be able to lock Jiejie down. And now, with Baron buff, they can actually start threatening the base. They can start trying to break down those inhibitor turrets and really opening up this game. And hell, they've even had Soul for quite a while now, right? So, TS, where can they bring us now that we have a full build JackeyLove?
Full build. 3 items though on the Aphelios and a hell of a lot of damage on him. Bloodthirster with the Gale Force and the Kraken means that he can shred through someone if they go a little bit too close to the sun. JackeyLove has got to be the big moment here, Mark. Ooh, okay. Not quite able to get caught out there. The Tibbers will end up being felled. Nothing really else outside of that invested because level 16 FoFo, that Annie Tibbers, as you can see on your right-hand side of the screen, it's coming back real quick.
Yeah, not the longest cooldown in the world. And you can see the top esports realize FoFo is a member they need to respect. He's definitely the biggest threat on the side of EDG. Now they're going to try and use these Baroned up minions to finally start breaking down the base. Oh, Ala's not here.
Ala's not here. Ala was off of bot lane. They weren't expecting such decisiveness. And now you can start to get the resets in. The pipe with Mark. They've done it, and the curse for EDG, but the blessings for top esports shall continue. It's been since the 23rd of March, 2019, the last time EDG were able to beat top esports in the regular split, and that ain't changing today.
2 games in a row, top esports made us all worry. They almost gave us heart attacks, tons of anxiety and stress. But just like game 2, it might not be the most convincing, though a lot more convincing in this game. Still, it was dirty, but they got it done. You're happy for TES, especially bringing out the Draven, leaning in on the signature pick of JackeyLove. And showing that, you know, with Pike Draven, they are still a duo to be feared. And again, it's not as dire as it seems, but it's weird, Shane, because I don't feel confident nor scared for TES, because I feel kind of both. I'm like confident that they can do well,
scared.
and I'm scared that they're also gonna not do well. And it's just they are the sprint marathon. They are the sprint marathon of teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I am picking up what you're putting down, but it does feel like, look, at the end of the day, especially the day